the inner pilgrimage, reflections on the spiritual journey, in the serene silence of the early morning. As the first rays of the sun gently touch the sacred land of Bharat, I sit in deep meditation, reflecting on the eternal truths that have guided seekers for millennia. The spiritual journey, my dear friends, is not a path of escape from the world, but profound return to the essence of who we truly are. It is a journey that demands courage, dedication, and an unwavering commitment to truth. Today, I wish to share some insights from my own journey, in the hope that they may light your path. The spiritual journey often begins with a sense of restlessness, a feeling that there must be more to life than what meets the eye. This restlessness, my friends, is not a curse but a blessing. It is the call of the soul, urging us to seek a higher truth. It is the beginning of the journey within, a journey that leads us to the very source of our being. In my own life, this call came early. As a young boy, I was drawn to the teachings of the ancient sages, and I felt a deep longing to understand the mysteries of existence. This longing led me to leave my home and family, and to seek out the guidance of a realized master. Under his tutelage, I learned the practices of meditation, self-inquiry. At the heart of all spiritual inquiry lies the question, who am I? This simple yet profound question is the gateway to self-realization. The mind, with its endless chatter and ceaseless desires, often obscures the truth of our being. We identify with our thoughts, emotions, and roles in the world, forgetting that these are merely transient expressions of a deeper, eternal reality. The ancient sages of India taught that the true self-atman is not the body, the mind, or the ego. It is the pure consciousness that underlies all experience. To realize this self is to transcend the limitations of individuality and to recognize our unity with the universal consciousness Brahman. This realization is not an intellectual understanding, but a direct, experiential knowing that transforms every aspect of our lives. Meditation, my dear friends, is the cornerstone of spiritual practice. It is through meditation that we learn to quiet the mind and turn our attention inward. In the stillness of meditation, we begin to glimpse the true nature of the self. This is not an easy task, for the mind is like a restless monkey, constantly jumping from one thought to another. Yet, with patience and persistence, we can train the mind to become still. There are many forms of meditation, but the essence of all meditation practices is the cultivation of awareness. Whether we focus on the breath, repeat a mantra, or simply observe the flow of thoughts, the goal is to become fully present in the moment. In this state of presence, we begin to see that the mind is not who we are. We are the awareness that observes the mind. Self-inquiry at Mavikhara, my friends, is another powerful tool on the spiritual path, which was emphasized by the great sage Ramana Maharshi. Involve continuously asking the question, who am I? As we delve deeper into this inquiry, we begin to peel away the layers of false identification and come closer to the truth of our being. Self-inquiry is not a process of intellectual analysis, but a direct looking into the nature of the self. It requires honesty, courage, and a willingness to let go of all that we believe ourselves to be. As we practice self-inquiry, we may encounter resistance, fear, and doubt. These are all parts of the process, for they are the ego's attempt to maintain its hold on us. Yet, if we persist, we will eventually come to the realizations that the self is beyond all concepts and definitions. Surrenderishvara Pranidhana, my dear friends, is another essential aspect of the spiritual path. To surrender is not to give up or to become passive, But to let go of the egos, need to control and to trust in the divine intelligence that governs the universe. Surrender is an act of humility, a recognition that we are not the doers, but instruments of a higher will. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, "Surrender all your actions to me, and fix your mind on the self. Free from desire and ego, fight the battle of life." This teaching reminds us that true surrender is not about abandoning our responsibilities. When we surrender our actions to the divine, we are freed from the burden of expectation and fear, and we can act with clarity and compassion. Compassion, karuna, my friends, is the natural expression of an awakened heart. When we realize the unity of all beings, we cannot help but feel compassion for those who are suffering. Compassion is not pity, but a deep understanding of the interdependence of all life. It is the recognition that the pain of others is our own pain, and that their joy is our own joy. The practice of compassion begins with ourselves. We must learn to be kind and forgiving towards ourselves, recognizing that we are all doing the best we can with the knowledge and resources we have. As we cultivate self-compassion, we naturally extend it to others. Compassion is not limited to human beings. It extends to all living creatures, for all are manifestations of the same divine consciousness. On the spiritual path, my dear friends, the guidance of a realized teacher guru can be invaluable. The guru is not merely a person, but a living embodiment of the teachings. The guru's role is to point us towards the true things, to help us remove the obstacles that prevent us from realizing it. The guru does not give us the truth, for the truth is already within us. Rather, the guru helps us to uncover it. The relationship between the guru and the disciple is one of trust and devotion. The disciple must approach the guru with an open heart and a willingness to learn. The guru, in turn, must be compassionate and wise, guiding the disciple with love and understanding. The guru-disciple relationship is a sacred bond, based on mutual respect and a shared commitment to the truth. Selfless service seva, my friends, is an integral part of the spiritual path. When we serve others without expectation of reward, we purify our hearts and cultivate humility. Seva is not just about helping others. It is about recognizing the divine in all beings and serving that divinity. In the act of selfless service, we transcend the ego and experience the joy of giving. Seva can take many forms, from feeding the hungry to teaching the ignorant. What matters is not the scale of the service, but the spirit in which it is performed. When we serve with love and devotion, we become instruments of the divine, and our actions become a form of worship. The spiritual path, my dear friends, is not without its challenges. As we progress, we may encounter obstacles such as doubt, fear, and temptation. These challenges are not meant to discourage us, but to strengthen our resolve and deepen our understanding. Each obstacle is an opportunity for growth, a chance to confront our limitations and transcend them. One of the greatest challenges on the path is the ego's resistance to change. The ego clings to its identity and fears the loss of control. Yet, the ego is not our true self. It is a construct of the mind. As we progress on the path, we must learn to let go of the ego and to embrace the truth of our being. The fruits of the spiritual path, my friends, are peace, joy, and freedom. When we realize the true nature of the self, we are no longer bound by the limitations of the mind and the ego. We experience a profound sense of peace, knowing that we are one with the divine. This peace is not dependent on external circumstances. It is the peace that comes from within. Joy is another fruit of the path. This joy is not the fleeting happiness that comes from sensory pleasures, but the deep, abiding joy that arises from the realization of our true nature. It is the joy of being, the joy of knowing that we are eternal, infinite, and free. Freedom is the ultimate fruit of the spiritual path. When we realize the true nature of the self, we are freed from the cycle of birth and death samsara. We are no longer bound by the illusions of the mind, and we can live in the world with clarity and compassion. This freedom is not the freedom to do as we please, but the freedom to be who we truly are. The spiritual path, my dear friends, is a journey of self-discovery, a journey that leads us back to the source of our being. It is a journey that requires courage, dedication, and an unwavering commitment to truth. Yet, the rewards of this journey are beyond measure, for they are the rewards of peace, joy, and freedom. As you walk this path, remember that you are not alone. The sages and saints of all traditions have walked this path before you, and their wisdom is available to guide you. Trust in the divine intelligence that governs the universe, and know that you are always supported on your journey. May your path be filled with light, love, and the realization of your true nature. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.